Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. We are going to go quickly through the ability test 2022 items so you can follow through and share as well in the comments. All right, so number 1 says select the word that best completes each statement. Curry is to goat as jerk is to chicken. Number 2 says stadium is to athletes as playground is to children. Number 3 says reading is to words as mathematics is to numbers. Number 4 says in items 4 and 5 rather, which word does not belong in the group? We've got gram, liter, meter, and pound. Correct answer is pound. Everything else is in the metric system, but pound is imperial. Number 5, we have pot, onion, salt, pepper. Everything else is seasoning, while pot is the utensil, so pot is the correct answer. For items 6 and 7, select the most appropriate words to correctly complete each sentence. Number 6 says the book was dash due, so I was dash to pay a fine upon returning it. So number 7 says the team was not prepared to play in rainy dash weather, weather. This caused them to lose the game, lose, lose. So our correct answer is C. Number 8. So for items 8 and 9, each box has words which are alike in some way. Box 1 says observe, notice, see, view. So which of the following could not be in box 1? Unaware, detect, recognize, watch. So the correct answer is unaware because everything else has similar meaning except for unaware. Number 9, in the box we have exit, vacate, desert, abandon. So which of these could not be in this box? Depart, quit, accept, leave. So everything else here are similar in meaning except for accept. Therefore, accept is the correct answer. Read the passage below carefully, then use it to answer item 10. Shireen lives 12 miles from her school. Her friend Pia lives 4 miles farther from school than Shireen, in the same direction. Jadon lives 16 miles farther than Pia, but farther than Trent, who lives between Pia and Shireen. Justin lives the farthest of all the students. So if all the students except Shireen left school on the same bus to get home, who would be the second person to get home? So I place Shireen here and Pia based on the information given. We have Jadon, who lives farther than both of them, but Trent lives between Shireen and Pia, and Justin lives the farthest from school. Now it says if all the students except Shireen left school on the same bus to get home, who would be the second person to get home? So we know that Shireen lives the closest to school, but she's not going to be on the bus, so the next person is Trent, who will get off first, and Pia will be second. So the correct answer here is Pia. For items 11 to 13, Circle the options that is necessary component of the word in bold type. Computer, so the options are camera, printer, keyboard, headphones. We know that our computer cannot work without its keyboard, but surely can work without the others. So keyboard is the necessary component. Number 12, kitchen. We have kettle, stove, cupboard, bread. While of course these things are not necessary for the kitchen, a stove is necessary. I mean, we need a stove to cook in the kitchen, right? So stove is our correct answer. For beach, we have boats, sand, lifeguard, tourists. We don't need boats at the beach, nor lifeguard, nor tourists, but we need sand for it to be a beach. For items 14 and 15, select the word that comes next in the sequence. So we have internal, opposite external, instant, opposite delayed, constant, opposite of constant is occasional, stable is constant, unmarked, I mean, we're not seeing any relationship, and consonant, no. So occasional is our correct answer. Here we have advise, the verb advice, the noun, abstract noun. We have perform, verb, noun, performance, argue, verb, argument, noun. We have invite, the verb, and so we'll have invitation, our noun. Read the passage below carefully, then use it to answer items 16 to 19. Since as early as 1950, Jamaicans have relied on radio to keep them up to date with what is happening in their communities, the wider island, in the Caribbean, as well as internationally. At one point, radio provided the entertainment, educational programs, news, and talk shows that people listened to. Information presented in the news at that time was almost entirely accurate. In 2022, radio still provides all that is it used to. However, social media platforms such as YouTube, WhatsApp, TikTok, Instagram, and streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, Prime Video, and One Spot Media now account for most of the entertainment being consumed by many Jamaicans, especially young people. Also, many persons have smartphones equipped with cameras. So when something happens and is captured on video, that story may have already made the rounds by the time the news is read at 5 p.m. Information shared on social media may be more immediate than waiting for the news on the radio. However, one should not be too quick to believe news heard via social media. Let's go to our question. Which paragraph best supports the conclusion in the box? Radio may be losing some of the popularity it once had. So which paragraph supports that information? Paragraph 1, paragraph 2, both paragraphs, neither paragraphs. So here, so let's look at the radio may be losing some of the popularity it once had. If we look at paragraph 1, it says at one point radio provided, so at one point is supporting that sentence is supporting that. And then here it says in 2022 radio still provides all that it used to. So both paragraphs support this because it is showing that radio have lost some of its popularity since social media. All right, so our correct answer here is both paragraphs. Number 17, which source is most likely to have error-free news? Based on the passage, it is shown that radio is most likely to have error-free news, as it said here that information presented in the news at that time was almost entirely accurate, And in this paragraph, it said, however, one should not be too quick to believe news heard via social media. So our correct answer here is radio. Let's go to question 18. What is being suggested by that story may have already made the rounds? Many persons may have seen the incident before it was on the news. Only a few persons may have commented on the incident. The incident was only carried on the radio news. The incident was not viewed by many persons. Now, if it says it already made the rounds, it meant that many persons have seen the incident before it was on the news. So our correct answer is A. Number 19 says, which would be the most accurate conclusion to draw after reading the passage? Netflix is the most popular streaming service. Jamaica is the first Caribbean country to have access to radio. Many persons buy smartphones because they have high quality cameras. And D, they need to stay informed and be entertained. The need to stay informed and be entertained has not changed over time. So D would be most accurate. Let's go to number 20. Now we're going to read this passage carefully and use it to answer this question. David lives in Maypen, Clarendon. He will be 15 years old in April this year. Helping out at home makes him feel good about himself. His mother, Mrs. Robinson, works at a computer store in Kingston. She is one of the cashiers there. Saturday is a very busy day for Mrs. Robinson at work, so she usually gets home very late. David makes dinner for the family on Saturdays. His cooking skills are getting better each week. So, which least explains why David cooks dinner on Saturdays. David's mother is a cashier at a computer store. B. Mrs. Robinson works at a computer store in Kingston. C. David's mother gets home very late on Saturdays. D. Mrs. Robinson is usually very busy on Saturdays. So the statement that least explains why David cooks dinner on Saturdays is that David's mother is a cashier at a computer store. All right, so the first 20 items usually surround language arts, and the final 20 is usually mathematics based. So let us go to number 21. Examine the pattern below. Use it to answer item 21. Which number correctly replaces this asterisk here? So after observing this pattern, we would see that they're subtracting 2, then adding 3, subtracting 2, then adding 3, subtracting 2, then adding 3. 3 plus 6 will give us 9, and so the correct answer is 9. Number 22 says, which shape will come in the next in the pattern? So we're looking at a triangle, turning to the left, then a pentagon, circle, circle, triangle to the right, pentagon, circle, circle, triangle to the left, pentagon, circle, circle. So now we need a triangle to the right. And so our answer is D. This shape will come next in the pattern. Number 23, so we're going to examine the 3 diagrams below, labeled S, T, and U. A relationship exists between the 3 numbers in diagram S. The same operations used in the relationship between the numbers in diagram S are also used in the relationship between the numbers in diagram T. So we're going to use the same operations to complete diagram U and answer this question. So we first need to look at the pattern. What do we notice? So here we realize that if we find the difference between these 2 numbers, which will give us 3, and we multiply that 3, the difference by this number here in the middle, which is 5, we get 15. Let's see if it will work for the second one. The difference between 7 and 12 is 5. 5 times 7 is 35. So yes, it is similar. It is the same thing. Let us see what it will give us at diagram U. The difference between 6 and 10 is 4. 4 times 6, 24. So our answer here will be B, 24. A number is given in the box. Use it to answer item 24. So we have 99 in the box. A number with the digit 9 is added to the number in the box to make it 1000. What is the place value of the digit 9 in the number that is added? Now we just need to find the difference between 99 and 1000, and that will give us 901. So the digit 9 in this number that was added would be in the 9 is in the hundreds place, and so our correct answer is C, hundreds. Examine the number line below. The point on the number line represents 3/4. Use it to answer item 25. So this is the number line. It says which fraction should be in the box. So if right here is 3/4, here seem to be 2/4, here would be 1/4. So 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. In the box will be 4/4. So the correct answer here is B, 4/4. Mark thought of a number and performed the steps below. Use the steps that Mark performed to answer item 26. Step 1, multiply the number you thought of by 2. Step 2, add 10 to the result of step 1. Step 3, divide the result of step 2 by 2. Step 4, subtract 4 from the result of step 3. So after the following steps, Mark ended up with 5. What was the number he thought of? When you look at this, it's a case where you need to work backwards. So if he ended up with 5, we are going to use the inverse of these operations here. So if he ended up with 5, we're going to add 4 to 5, which is 9. We have divide here, so we're going to multiply by 2, which will give us 18. It says add 10, so we're going to subtract 10 from 18, which will give us 8. Here it says multiply by 2, so now we're going to divide by 2, which will give us 4. And so the number he thought of will be 4, and that is B. 4 siblings, Carl, Bob, Dean, and Mary, are to be arranged in order of the oldest to the youngest. We're going to use this information and the clues given to answer item 27. So the clues are: Carl is neither the youngest nor the oldest. Bob is older than Dean, but younger than Mary. So which diagram represents the ages of the 4 siblings from oldest to youngest? So Carl is neither the youngest nor the oldest. So Carl is in one of these spaces here in the middle. Bob is older than Dean. So it means that Bob has to be at the top and Dean somewhere below. So here we have Carl in the middle, Bob at the top, Dean below. Carl in the middle, Bob at the top, Dean below. Carl is not in the middle, this can't work. And this can't work because Bob is below and not at the top. Bob is older than Dean, but younger than Mary. So here we need to find somewhere where Mary is in first place. Bob will come next. And we can have either Carl or Dean following. So we have Mary, Bob, Carl, Dean. So our correct answer is A, based on the clues. Number 28 says, if one square represents 2 equilateral triangles, then 4 equilateral triangles is represented by, we'll realize that we've got 2 of this, so it means 2 squares. Our correct answer is D. Adam and Jody are training for sports day. The tables below show the number of push-ups Adam and Jody completed. Use the information in the tables to answer item 29. All right, let's observe here. Days 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is being shown for Adam and the number of push-ups he completed each day. Jody is showing the amount of, this table is showing the amount of push-ups Jody completed on the 7th day, which is 100. Now, Adam uses a set pattern to complete his push-ups each day. If Adam continues this pattern to day 7, which statement below would be true about the number of push-ups Adam completed on day 7? Now, we first have to figure out what pattern Adam is using here. So if you observe, we add 5 to 10 to give us 15, 10 to 15 to give us 25, 15 to 25 to give us 40, 20 plus 40 to give us 60, so 25 plus 60 will give us 85 for day 6, and day 7 will be 85 plus 30 to give us 115 at day 7. So on day 7, Adam completed 115 push-ups and Jody completed 100. So let's look at the options. The number of push-ups Adam completed on day 7 is greater than the number of push-ups Jody completed on day 7. This is true, but let's check the others. The number of push-ups Adam completed on day 7 is less than the number of push-ups Jody completed on day 7. That is false. The number of push-ups Adam and Jody completed on day 7 is the same. That is also false. The number of push-ups Adam and Jody completed on day 7 cannot be determined by the information given. That is false. So our correct answer here is A. 4 girls ran different legs on a winning 4x100 meters relay team. The time run by each girl is shown in the table. Use this information to answer item 30. So we have Julie, Anne, Kayla, Tanisha, and these are their times in seconds. So we know that the least second is better or is the best because it means that that person did it, ran faster. So which girl may have contributed most to the success of the team? So we just need to look to see which of these time is less, and that is 11.17, and that's Tanisha. So our correct answer is Tanisha. She would have contributed most to the success of the team. The picture below shows different types of dogs. The dogs are arranged in ascending order based on their heights. The difference in height between each dog is about the same. Use this information to answer item 31. Now, a keyword is about the same. It's not exactly the same. But let's think about it. So if number 6 is 55 centimeters tall, this dog, and dog number 1 is 15 centimeters tall, which statement about dog number 3 could be true? So dog number 3 is about what centimeters tall? Now, if you look at all of this, you know that whatever difference it is will be similar. So I went ahead and I found the difference between 55 and 15, that I got 40, and so I divided 40 by the 6 dogs to see what maybe, what the difference in height between each dog might be. So I'm using it to be 7. So I'm going to think about it as 7. So here we've got 55. The difference, 55 take away 7 will give us 48. 48 take away 7 will give us 41. 41 take away 7 will give us 36. 34. 34 take away, so 34. We're here 34 at dog 3. There's one answer that is very close to it. That's 35 centimeters. But let's try to do it from the other end. 15 plus 7 is 22. 22 plus 7 is 29. And so 29, 34, I would say dog 3 is about 35 centimeters. The diagram below shows the community in which Paul lives. He can use 2 routes, route A or route B, to walk from school to home. He walks along the road to get home. Use this information to answer item 32. So observe, this is school and these are the routes A and B. And it also shows that this distance is about 5 minutes walk. So Paul takes 35 minutes to walk from school to home using route A. If he walks at the same speed, about how long will it take to walk from school to home using route B? So we're just going to look at at this here being 5 minutes. So this, we could say this is 5 minutes. From here to here is 10, here to here 15, 20, 25. So the correct answer would be about 25 minutes. That is B. The diagram below shows two pieces of string labeled I and II, 1 and 2. A student found that the length of his desk was 10 times the length of string 1. Use this information to answer item 33. About how many times longer would the student's desk be than string 2? So if this string, if the length of his desk is 10 times the length of this string, then it has to be more times the length of this string because this string is shorter. So this is about half of this. So that means his desk could be about 20 times or between 19 and 25 times longer. And so the correct answer here would be C. The chart below shows the pollution levels in some major cities around the world from 2015 to 2018. Use it to answer questions, items 34 and 35. So you can observe the chart here, 2015, 16, 17, and 18, and this shows the pollution levels in billions of tons. We've got Linfen, Mumbai, Honolulu, Gold Coast. So which country showed a decrease in pollution levels in 2018? Let's go to 2018. A decrease means that it was higher than it is in 2018, and that would be Mumbai. So our correct answer here would be D. We're using this same chart to answer this question as well. So which statement is true? Let's look at the statements. Linfen had the lowest pollution levels in 2015. Let's look in 2015. It was Gold Coast, so that is incorrect. Mumbai and Linfen had equal levels of pollution in 2017. All right, let's look at those two in 2017. Yes, that is correct. They do have the same level of pollution in 2017. Let's check out item C as well. Gold Coast produced no pollution over the 4 years. So it says no pollution, but it actually produced pollution. It's just that it did not increase. So that is false. Honolulu's pollution levels went up and down each year. Honolulu was constant, so no. So our correct answer is B. Mumbai and Lumfen had equal levels of pollution in 2017. Use the following to answer this question. 40 students were asked about their favorite car color. Red was the most popular car color chosen. Less than a quarter of the students chose blue cars. 2 times as many students chose green cars as orange cars. We're going to use these clues. So which bar graph represents the information collected from the students? Okay, so red was the most popular car color chosen. Let's look to see where red is more than the others. Okay, so in graph A, B, and C, red is most popular. So we know that D cannot be the correct answer. Let's look at the second clue here. It says less than a quarter of the students chose blue cars. So we've got 40 students. So a quarter of 40 is 10. Less than 10 is what we're going to look for. So remember, red has to be most popular and less than 10 for blue cars. So we've got red popular, less than 10 blue cars. Red most popular, less than 10 blue cars. Red most popular, but 10 blue cars. So B is also eliminated. We're looking at A and C now. So here we have 2 times as many students chose green cars as orange cars. So let's look. 2 times chose green as orange. So here we have green. We have 2 times orange as green. So this is out. Here we have 2 times green as orange. And so our correct answer is C. All right. So the diagram below shows a hospital that is located close to 3 towns, as well as the number of hospital workers living in each town. Use the information shown in the diagram to answer item 37. Which statement is true about the information given in the diagram? There are more, let's see, doctors living closer to the hospital than pharmacists. Are there more doctors living closer to the hospital than pharmacists? So no, we have 40 pharmacists because each picture represents 20 pharmacists. So this is wrong. That's false. All right, so there are more doctors living in Greentown than nurses. Let's got Greentown, more doctors than nurses. We have 10, 10, 10, 30 doctors. Nurses, we have 25, 20, and 50. So we have 30 doctors, 50 nurses. We have more nurses than doctors. So this is false. Let's look at C. Pharmacists. There are more pharmacists living in Cayman Valley than doctors. In Cayman Valley, let's see how many pharmacists we have. We have 20 pharmacists and we have 10 plus 10, 20 doctors. That's false because they're equal, none more than the other. Let's look at D. There are more nurses living in Cayman Valley than doctors. All right, so more nurses living in Cayman Valley. We have 50 nurses in Cayman Valley and we have 20 doctors. So our correct answer is D. There are more nurses living in Cayman Valley than doctors. Number 38. 1 out of every 10 students in a school takes lunch to school. If there are 200 students in the school, how many of them do not take lunch to school? So 1 out of every 10 students in the school takes lunch. That means 20 students takes lunch to school. So out of the 200 students, 180 do not take lunch to school. So our correct answer is C, 180. For items 39, there is a question followed by 2 statements. Read the statements carefully and see if they provide enough information to help you answer the question. Mrs. Baker arranged the books on her shelf in order from the least number of pages to the most number of pages. How many pages does the book in the middle have? So statement 1 says, the book in the middle of the shelf has 3 times the number of pages as the book with the least number of pages. Statement 2 says the book with the most number of pages is 704 pages long. Statement 1 alone is enough to answer the question? No. Statement 2 alone is enough to answer the question? No. Both statements together are enough to answer the question? No, because it asks about the middle book. And we based on the information given here, it means that it is telling us that both statements together are not enough to answer the question. All right, so our correct answer is D. And the final item. Examine the mathematical sentence below. There are 5 shapes. These are the shapes. Each shape represents its own unique number. Use the information to answer item 40. All right, item 40 says, which of the following is true? So here, the first equation we have here, we have this shape, like a sun plus a lightning plus another sun equals this other shape. Here it says 15. Take away this shape, gives us this arrow. 2 arrows is equal to 4. This will help us so that we know that each arrow is 2. For here, we have this shape. Take away lightning equals the trapezium. So which of the following is true? Sun plus sun equal trapezium. All right, let's see. So here we have, if we take away this lightning from this shape, we're left with these 2 suns. And here we have this shape subtract lightning that gives us trapezium. So it means that these 2 sun is also equal to the trapezium. And so our correct answer for item 40 is A. I hope you all did very well. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good day. Don't forget to share this with your friends and with your students. The video will always be available on my channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and there are many other videos that will help you to prepare for your performance task.